Or first things first, welcoming video, coffee shop. What is the coffee shop? Well, the coffee shop is basically a virtual coffee shop. Now, what do you do in a coffee shop? Other than drink coffee, well, you sit and chat. You ask questions, you get answers. That's what this is all about. You post this way by clicking on a new post, adding your discussion topic, putting your message in, and you can add files if you want. You can share with your fellow students, post it to the forum. That's how that works. We'll go back to the general class. So that's coffee shop. Now, one interesting thing about this course is a continuous enrollment. So at any given time, if you wanted to find who's in the course, you should go to the participants. Because some people start January 30th, some people start the next week, the next week, the next week. At any given place in the course, there may be 7, 8, 10, 20 people in the course over the 10 weeks that the course runs. So if you want to get to know some people, I suggest you go in and take a look at the participants and then send them a note in the coffee shop. You can also message them if you want to. Right now there's nobody in this course because I'm just building it again. But that's the place to go, participants. All right, and then we'll go back to the course. So coffee shop, that's very important. General news and announcements, good place to go to get information, to ask questions. Now you'll notice there's the main headings of the course. It's kind of broken out into topics, and the topics go over these series of weeks. So starting at the beginning, we have the orientation topic. And in this, we have some videos, like the one you're reading right now, or looking at right now, which is here, and a bunch of other stuff, policies, and so on. The one thing I wanted to point out here is this: how to use the course schedule checklist. That's a very important thing to look at. Print this out and put it up on your wall. That basically is a step-by-step, week-by-week schedule of what you should do when to hand things in, and so on. And that's really important to do. It's really important to be self-regulated, to basically get your act together and know what you're doing and when. And then you'll be successful in the course. Okay, other stuff here that's really interesting. Now, the first topic is reflective writing. This goes through, as you can see, basically the whole course. You have to hand one reflective writing piece in week 2, week 5, and week 9, and I give you feedback on those things. I send it back to you with some comments. There's some topics for each week, and some resources to study. So that's pretty straightforward. The next topic is the course profile, and I'm not going to get into the details right now. There's a ton of stuff in here. But basically you have to develop a profile, which is a fancy way of saying goals, objectives, or outcomes for a course. And you can choose whatever course you like. It can be a formal course that you teach at a college or university. It could be an informal course that you do Saturdays at a rec center. It could be a course on how to drive a tractor, or it could be a course on English literature. It's up to you, and I strongly recommend that you make it as practical as you can. You can also redo or refine an existing course if you're teaching one and you're not satisfied with it. So make it practical for your job, and let me know if you have any questions about that. Just talk to me about it. Okay? So this is weeks 2 to week 9. There's things you have to hand in week 4. The profile draft has to be handed in week 4. Week 3, before that, we'll have a Skype talk to make sure that you're on track with everything and not confused, and basically have been able to choose an approach for designing your profile. And the two approaches we have here: competency-based, which is CBE, outcomes-based, which is OBE. So once you decide what you basically should have done by about week 3 in the course, then you get into the section that is relevant to you. There's overview things of both approaches here, videos and information. So you'll get a good grounding in both, but the work you're going to do to hand in is basically in here. The how-to videos and the best practices are either in the CBE section or the OBE section, depending on what it is that you're doing. And then, of course, the assignment submission area. I think that you all know about this. Basically, you click on this, and then you drop your assignment into the area that's required. It's very straightforward. And then it shows up in my box, and I mark it. And then I send back the information and the feedback and the mark to you in the same um, uh, area, the course profile assignment area, submission area. Weeks 5 to 9, you have to do a lesson plan. So there's all the stuff on a lesson plan. That's pretty straightforward. You choose your lesson plan from one part of your profile. So if you're using CBE and you're looking at goals and objectives, you choose an objective which becomes a lesson. And then you design the lesson. There's different approaches, there's different ways to look at it. That's all there. And the same thing, you have to hand that in, and the due date's right there. It's also on your schedule. So I hope things are clear. It makes sense to me. I hope it makes sense to you. Course outline is another thing you have to do, which includes a schedule. The schedule is also known as the syllabus, which is basically, what's going to be taught when, what materials are required, how much it costs, what readings are required, are there field trips, those sorts of things. Course outlines are marketing documents as well. You can do a workshop outline as well if you're doing a continuing education type course, and that sometimes is in the form of a brochure. So you can get creative in this. If you're working at a college or university, quite often there's a template that's required, so you just use that template and fill in the blanks. This assignment you won't find overly challenging, I don't think. It's basically following a process and using a template. So then you're in week 10 all of a sudden, the course is over. So you've got the course outline, the lesson plan, course profile, and some reflective writing to do over the course of 10 weeks. And it's staggered so that you can hand some things in, get some formative or feedback assessment for learning, as they call that in the jingo or the jargon of education, and then basically refine your work and get better at it. And that's what I really strongly recommend you do. Also, to that end, I strongly recommend that you use your emails and your Skype conversations that I'm offering to you to clear up any kind of confusions as soon as you reach that point of being confused. There's kind of a graph of learning, frustration in learning, and sometimes you're frustrated as you're learning, but it actually stimulates you to do a better job. If you get too frustrated, generally the textbook goes through a window or something, and that's it. Tools down. I can't do it. I won't do it, because your emotions are taking over your rational sense, and you get stuck. So before you get to that textbook throwing stage, give me a call, get a Skype conversation going, send me an email, and we'll talk it through, and you will get past that foggy stage or that frustrating stage and be able to do what you need to do. So I hope this has been a bit helpful. As I said before, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks very much.